today we will see exercise 1.4 and then we will move to the composition function. Okay, so today's topics to cover exercise 1.4, first, second, composition of a function, and then few examples, and then last unit exercises 1.6. okay, with this we will see inshallah second chapter. Got it? So let us have exercise 1.4. I'm gonna do only few problems, rest is up to you. So the first question is determine whether the graph given below represent a function or not. Give reason for your answer concerning each graph. Okay, so first question, first subdivision was, it is given like this, and the second one sorry if my diagram is not good. Okay, so fourth, it is an identity function. Okay, so for checking whether the given graph is function or not, as I said and previously I have discussed that, so we need to verify by the technique called vertical line test, right? Okay, so I use here vertical line test. Clearly it is seen that my graph cuts the vertical line exactly at 2 points, right? So for this is not a function. Okay, you can write the sentence as vertical line cuts the graph exactly at 2 points, so therefore the given graph is not a function. Okay, you can write like this. The third one is, okay, so what about the second one? If you put the vertical line, so each vertical line cuts the graph exactly at only 1 point, so we can clearly make sure that the given graph is a function. What about the third one? Third one is not a function because vertical line cuts the graph at multiple points, more than 1 point. Okay, so here it cuts 3 points. Everywhere it cuts the vertical line cuts the graph in 3 points, 3 points. Okay, so it cuts multiple points, so it is not a function. Here it is clearly seen exactly at only 1 point it is going to cut here. So therefore second and fourth is a function. Okay, so first and third is not a function for the given graph. Okay, let us move to the next question. So next question is, I think second and third question are easy to you. I'll write the fourth question. Show that the function f from natural number to natural number defined by f of x equals 2x minus 1 is 1 1 but not onto. Whenever the question says 1 1 onto into many 1, you can use set concept. That will be easier to you. So solution, or you can say proof. Okay, because it is shows to prove as it says. Okay, let us prove this. So here is a function f, I call it. So y is equal to 2x minus 1. Here is a natural number. Again here natural number. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on. Here's also 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and so on. Got it? So if I put x equal to 1 here, the first set is x, second set is y, Okay, so if I put x equal to 1 here, let us denote capital X and capital Y here because set is denoted by capital letters. So if I put x equal to 1 here, so y is equal to 2 into 1 times 2, 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. So my 1 maps to 1 here. Next, if I put 2 here, 2 2s are 4, 4 minus 1, this maps to 3 here. 3 maps to clearly 5, 4 maps to 7, 5 maps to 9. Even though if you want, you can check it. Everywhere it is mapping only the odd numbers. Okay, no even number are missing in the codomain set, right? So definitely it is not onto. Why? Because some of the elements which are missing in the second set. So we can say clearly given function f of x equal to 2x minus 1 is not onto. Reason is all the even natural numbers are not mapped, okay, or missing, missed map, okay. So but how can we prove f of x equal to 2x minus 1 is 1 1? We can tell in this way also, or you can say each and every element you can have to, you have to write in the in this way. Each and every element in x maps uniquely to y, okay, in the second set, right? So these are the definition to to make function to be 1 1, or you can also verify by mathematical way. F of x equals to f of y. So we can easily say that f of x equals to f of y in the sense 2x minus 1 equal to 2y minus 1. Just replace x by y, okay. So minus 1 and minus 1 will get cancelled. 2x equals to 2y. 2 will get cancelled. X equals to y. So clearly the given function is, that is f is 1 1. Okay, we can show that f is 1 1. If you really want to show f is not onto, you can have to change the variable, okay. For that I am using let y is equal to 2x minus 1, change in terms of x, okay. X 2x is equal to y plus 1, and then x is equal to just take minus 1 to this left hand side, it becomes y plus 1 and 2x will remain there itself. Now what you have to do is y plus 1, take this 2 to that side because it is multiplied here, multiple number, integral multiple here. If you take to that side, it is going to be divisible, right? So x is equal to y plus 1. Our formula for onto is f of x is equal to y, okay. So what is f of x? F of x is 2x minus 1, okay. So just substitute the value right here. F of x is equals to 2x minus 1. Just substitute the value of x. Just now we find minus 1, 2 will get cancelled. So y plus 1 minus 1. So here it shows that plus 1 minus 1 cancelled. But here we got a y, okay. It shows that f of x equals to y has a onto function. Can you tell why in the by mathematical way it says that the given function is onto, but we find out that in the set manner that is not onto. This is an open question or open challenge question to you, that you have to say that why in mathematical way it shows f of x equal to y is onto, but in general manner it is not onto, okay. This is a question for challenge question for you. You have to say the answer for this one. I will ask you in my next section, or leave your comment in the comment box. You have to answer me for sure, okay. Let us move to the next question. As I have proved that this question is 1 1 but not on 2, it is clearly seen in the set manner, but in mathematical manner f of x is 1 1, it is clear, but for this question alone it is onto function 2. Okay, but why you have to say. Okay, so here's the last question I'm gonna do. So seventh question in exercise 1.3. Yeah, the question was, in each of the following cases state whether the function is bijective or not, justify your answer. And your question is first subdivision, check bijective. Okay, if it is not visible, okay, check bijective we need 1 1 plus on 2, both should satisfy together. Okay, the question is, I have taken the second question and it gives f is a map from real number to real number defined by f of x is equal to 3 minus 4x square. Okay, first thing we have to check for 1 1, then we have to go for onto. Onto condition is f of x is equal to y. 1 1 condition is f of x equal to f of y implies x equal to y. Okay, so this condition and this condition should satisfy together. Okay, our f of x is equals to f of y. Here f of x is nothing but 3 minus 4x square. Just you have to replace x by y. Got it? So clearly it is seen that 3 and 3 will get cancelled from left and right, and then minus 4x square equal to minus 4y square, minus 4 is get cancelled, x square equal to y square. If I take this square root there, it is going to be x is equal to plus or minus y, because here x is equal to plus or minus under root of y square. Square and root will get cancelled simultaneously. You will end up with the x equal to plus or minus y. That means it has x is equal to y or x is equal to minus y, both. Okay, but our question is x equal to y here. Okay, I'll tell you the reason why I have taken x equal to and x equal to minus y, because here in the domain it has given real number. Okay, real number. If he has given the positive real number, then we don't need to take x equal to minus y. We just take x equal to y and then finish our 1 1 condition. Okay, but since it has given the real number in the domain, we have a negative numbers too. Okay, so we cannot exclude this x equal to minus y as such. So we have to include x equal to minus y too. In this case, we cannot say it is a 1 1 function. Okay, so this is not a 1 1 function. Okay, let us check for onto function 2. What you need to do here is you have to change x in terms of y. So y is equal to, okay, if I have finished this 1 1 condition, because it is not 1 1, I need some space to do onto. So y is equal to 3 minus 4x square. Bring this 3 to this side, it becomes minus 3, and there we have minus 4x square. Multiply this by minus 4, no need, just divide it, divided by minus 4 both sides, it will become 3 minus y by 4. Got it? Then this is equal to x square, but if you take here, you have to do one thing, plus or minus root of 3y minus y by 4. Okay, now f of x is equal to 3 minus 4x square. So 3 minus 4, what is x square? X square will be, see, plus and minus together will get positive, okay, because there's a square there. So square and root will also get cancelled. Just 3 minus 4 by y. 3 will get cancelled. What about this minus? 4 will get cancelled. This minus you have to multiply inside. So minus 3 plus y. So 3 minus 3 will get cancelled. So y remains. So clearly f is onto function but not one function. As I said, the condition for bijective is it should satisfy one condition and onto condition both as well. Here one condition satisfied onto, but one condition is not satisfied. So because of this, we say that f is not bijective. So answer is f is not bijective. Okay, we shall move to the composition of function and then some of the examples, then unit exercise. Okay, let us see about the composition of two functions f and g. So here I denote, as we know the functions rule, definitions and their techniques. The same thing we are going to apply in the composition of two functions also. See, here I have given that the function f from x to y and another function g from y to z. Okay, there we have treated the function by only one variable. Here we are treating the function in one variable in the sense of two rule, okay, f and g. So f is a function from x to y, g is a function from y to z, and there is through these two functions we can generate a new function called g composite f. You can call or denote the small circle symbol as a composite, okay, composite or composition, compositions in a function, okay. So g composite f is a map from x to z. See, here y is invisible. I'll explain this when it comes. Okay, let us see here in the set manner. X is a map from f is a map from x to y, g is a map from y to z. I have just given the small example. X is a set that is collection of all sons, y is a set that is collection of all fathers of those persons, okay, of those sons, and z is a collection of all grandfathers of those fathers, or you can say grandsons, okay, right. So g is a map, okay, g composition for f function is a map from x to z, which is a map between grandson and grandfathers, okay. Let us go through three types of functions, composition of three functions. It is also the same manner. Composition of three functions. Okay, when I finish this composition of three functions, we will go to their properties and then we will see the exercise problems, okay. So first is f, second g, and third is h. So here to here, then here to, okay. G compose f, and here h compose g, right. Okay, this time we don't say son, father, grandfather like this. I use simply rose, lily, sunflower, lotus. So here we can say f is a map from x to y, g is a map from y to z, then h is a map from z to some e, okay. So here we need G composition F and H composition G, two functions. Okay, so G composition F is nothing but it is a map between X to Z, and H composition G is a map between Y and E. So we need to find in this common. Okay, so what is G composite F and H composite G? We will get F compose G compose H. F compose G compose H, or you can say F compose G compose H. This is a map between G compose H G compose H is a map between these two Y and F is in between X. So in short, we can use X to E, and F compose G. So F compose G is Y compose Y to X, and so it will come up here Y, and H is about Z. Yeah, that is what we need to know here. Okay, don't go too far in this set examples, because we are not going to have problems in 3 functions. We are only dealing with 2 functions only. When it comes, we will see the problems. Okay, so there's properties, some of the properties here. Composition of 2 function is not always commutative, in the sense F compose G is not equal to G compose F. Okay, so F compose G of X can be written as F of G of X. Okay, in the same manner for G compose F. And the composition of 3 functions, 2 and 3 functions, for 3 functions, F compose G compose H is F compose G compose H. So this is called an associative property, not commutative. But associative. These are the things which you have to know. And also one more thing is, you have to operate this function first. See, for F compose G of X, F of G of X, we need to say operate F on G. Okay, first operate F by G. Okay, F on G or F by G. For composition of 3 function, you have to say in this manner, F compose G compose H can be written as of X can be written as F of G of H of X. This bracket is for this is for this, and this is for this. Yeah, okay. First you have to operate this by this one, then you have to operate F by G. Firstly you have to operate, and write operate G by H, then operate F by G. I'll tell you what we need to operate and what we have to do in while doing exercise problems. Got it? So now we will look exercise problems. Let us look out the exercise 1.5. So I'm going to do first question. First question is, using the functions f and g given below, find F compose G. We need to find F compose G and G compose F. Okay, check whether F compose G and G compose F together or equal. Whether this is equal or not equal, you have to find. Okay, for that I'm going to pick third example, third subdivision, and that is f of x is equal to x plus 6 upon 3, g of x equals 3 minus x. Now let us see this. So first, f compose g of x is nothing but f of g of x. Okay, so f of, what is g of x? Just substitute g of x in the bracket. So and that was 3 minus x. Now operate f on g. Okay, f by g. So if you operate f by g, you just need to replace wherever x included. Okay, so x is here, x is here. So in x value you have to substitute 3 minus x there. Okay, exactly at x position. Got it? 3 minus x, I am going to substitute 3 minus x in x position. So while substituting 3 minus x, we have to careful with the addition or divisions. Okay, so plus 6 divided by 3. So here we have 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 minus x upon 3 is a f compose g answer. Okay, so now we are finding g compose f. So what is g compose f? G of f of x. So g, what is f of x? F of x is x plus 6 upon 3, and this is equal to operate g for f. Okay, so just you need to replace x by this term. Okay, here g of x is 3 minus x by this whole thing. Okay, x plus 6 upon 3. Yeah, we need to cross multiply. 3 times 3 is 9 minus x minus 6 upon 3 again. Okay, so 9 minus 6 is 3 minus x upon 3. So clearly it is saying that f compose g and g compose f is not equal. F compose g is not equal to g compose f is your answer. So in this way you can find the answer. Okay, let us see the another problem. Let us do the second problem. So second problem is find the value of k. Find the value of k such that f of g equals to g of f. That is, f compose g and g compose f are equal together. I'm gonna use second question. So f of x equal to 2x minus k, g of x equals 4x plus 5. Okay, since both are equal, first we need to find f compose g and g compose f. Okay, so f of g of x, and that is f g of x is nothing but, now operate f on these variables. So here f of x is nothing but 2x. Instead of x you have to replace this bracket. So 4x plus 5 minus k. So 2 is going to multiply throughout this bracket. So it is going to be 8x plus 10 minus k. Let it be. We need that variable. Now come for g compose of f of x. Okay, so g of f of x, and that is equal to g of f of x is nothing but 2x minus k. What is g here now? G is 4x. X instead you have to replace this bracket. So 2x minus k plus 5. You just need to multiply 4 throughout this bracket. Then 4 2s are 8x. 4 into k minus 4k plus 5. Since now it is given f compose g and g compose f are equal, F compose G and G compose F are equal, we know that just now we have found F compose G is 8x plus 10 minus k and G compose F is 8x minus 4k plus 5. Okay, so 8x and 8x will get cancelled. So here 5 cancelled. Next we have to take all those elements over there, k in terms of k. So bring this k here, you will get plus 4k minus k plus 5. There is nothing such element there, so that's why I have given 0. So 4k minus k is 3k plus 5 equal to 0. So I think so k 3k is equals to minus 5, then which implies k is equal to minus 5 upon b is your solution for this given question, right? So I'm gonna do 6th question, and this will be your last question, and rest is up to you. You have to do. And the 6th question is, let f of x is equal to x squared minus 1. Find f compose f. Second, f compose f. Okay, so first one, first question, solution. So f compose of x will be f of x. Okay, we need to repeatedly substitute f of x value in f of x itself. Okay, so f of, what is f of x here? X square minus 1. Again you have to substitute this thing instead of x, okay, in f variable, x variable. So substitute x squared minus 1 in x, it will look like x squared minus 1 whole square minus 1. Got it? Now for the second one, if you want to expand it, or else no need. Now the second one is f compose f. So f compose f of x. We know that f compose f of x is this one, right? So just we need f compose f of x. F compose f of x is x squared minus 1 whole square minus 1. Again you have to substitute this in this equation, this function, then it will become, this bracket will be the x. Okay, so x square minus 1 whole square minus 1 will be the x to the power 2, raised to the power 2, and minus 1 will be your required function. If you want to expand it in terms of a minus b whole square. As you know, a minus b whole square is a square plus b square minus 2ab, or either this way, a square minus 2ab plus b square. Got it? Okay, we shall move to the unit exercises. Make sure that if you have a doubt, you can leave the comment. Okay, now we will finish up this chapter by finishing unit exercise. In that unit exercise also, I am going to finish only 2-3 problems. The rest of the problems you have to do. And exercise 1.6 is a multiple choice question, that is 1 more question. So unit exercise 1, that is chapter 1. For chapter 1, unit exercise 1. So I will find third question. Given that f of x is equal to x minus 1, 4, x is greater than or equal to 1, and for x is less than 1. Okay, let us have a graph of this one. So square root of x minus 1, if I put x minus 1 equal to 0, then it is going to be x equal to 1. Exactly at x equal to 1 we have a root, so that is why the graph look like this. So at x is greater than or equal to 1, the graph will be here. Here I call it 1. Okay, so greater than or equal to 1. For less than 1, it is going to be 4. So 4 will be here. At this point there is x is not here, that is why I have made here whole, and this is the point 1. Okay, so this function is also called as step function or piecewise function. Okay, step function or piecewise function, that is why it is looked like this. Step function in the sense at exactly at x equal to 1, the function looks like here, but if x is below 1, it is around negative side like this. Okay, so that is why it is called a step function, because it step up to 4 less than 1, and for greater than 1 it is a square root function. Square root function will always be like this only. Okay, if you want you can check it by, as I said, by trial and error method. If you take minus 3 to plus 3, you will have such idea about these graphs. Okay, what he is asking here is find, first one, find f of 0, second is f of 3, third f of a plus 1 in terms of a, where a is positive, a is non-negative, not positive, non-negative, it is also equal to 0. Okay, so first of all 0, we need to find f of 0, right? F of 0 will lie here, 0 is here, exactly here, 0, 1, 2, 3, after 1 there is 2, 3, 4 and so on, you can visualize that. So but 0 will be exactly here, this is your y-axis and this is your x-axis. 0 will lie here at exactly at x equal to 0, the graph is 4. Okay, so f of 0 will be 4. At x equal to 0, your graph is 4, x equal to 4, this is y equal to 4, or you can say f of x equal to 4, because f of x equal to 4 and y equal to 4 both are same in the sense. Okay, so at y equal to 4 point, x equal to 0, this point is nothing but 0 comma 4. So that is why at the point, this is your x, this is your y. Okay, so x is 0, x comma y, x is 0, y is 4 here. Got it? Next, so f of 0 is 4, as we can see, f of 3, and it is greater than 1. Okay, so f of 3, so this is 2 and this is 3, so f of 3, we can find f of 3 through this function. Okay, f of 3 is nothing but root 2, root of, since it is x is more than 1, we have to pick this function, square root function. So x is 3 here, so 3 minus 1, it is going to be root 2. So f of 3 is root 2. Then what about third one, f of a plus 1 in terms of a, where a is non-negative? What will be that? Okay, so we need this, we don't need this graph, f of a plus 1 in terms of a. Okay, so f of a plus 1, so a is non-negative. Since it is non-negative, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and so on. Okay, so if it is equal to 0, it comes to 4. If it is equal to 1, it is going to be a square root function. Mostly for greater than or equal to 0, mostly we will take square root function itself. So there will be a plus 1 minus 1. So under root of plus 1 and minus 1 will get cancelled. A will be the remaining, A will be remains here for every A is non-negative. Okay, I'll once again explain you. F of A plus 1 in terms of A will be represent only in this way, not in this way. Yeah, it will represent in this way also, only when x is less than 1 and between 0. Or you can write f of A plus 1 can written as, f of A plus 1 can be written as root A and 4 when x is less than or equal to 1, sorry, when x is greater than 1 and A should be greater than or equal to 0 here, it is must. And for 4 we write 0 lies between x and 1, or x less than 1 we can write this one. Okay, x lies between 0 and 1 we can write this. But in general we don't write like this, we just try to write just root A. Okay, because we need only the positive terms. Okay, so f of A plus 1 because plus 1, if you take positive number also you will have an idea. Just wait, I'll tell you again. See, f of A plus 1, I'm not going to do again once again, but you need to understand this concept. A plus 1, but the condition for A is greater than or equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this was A. If A equal to 0, A plus 1 will be 1, because 0 plus 1 is 1. If A equal to 1, A plus 1 will be 1 plus 1, 2. In this way we will have 1, 2, 3 and so on. That means A plus 1 will have f of 1, f of 2, f of 3. Exactly at x equal to 1, x equal to 2, x equal to 3 will have the square root function. So we don't care about this value anymore. Okay, so obviously we can use this function. F of A plus 1 is equal to square root of, instead of x I am replacing this bracket, A plus 1 minus 1. Minus 1 is there, look at it. So plus 1 minus 1 will get cancelled, only root A will remain. But along with that condition, A should be non-negative. This is your answer for third question. Got it? And one more last question. So fifth question, find the domain of the function f of x is equal to under root 1 plus under root 1 minus under root 1 plus x square. 1 plus 1 minus 1 minus, okay, 1 minus x square. Got it? And here what we need to do is we need to find the domain of the function. Okay, as I said, there's a two condition in the domain. First condition is non-zero denominator. We don't have such denominator here, so we are not going to use the first condition for the domain. And the second condition in the domain is going to be used here. What is the second condition here? Square root of non-negative values. Okay, that means we are using, take this value 1 minus x square and put it non-negative. Okay, so this is a non-negative, that means greater than or equal to 0. If you take this minus x square here, it will going to be x square 1 greater than or equal to x square. Okay, 1 minus x square, if you take 1 minus x square to the right side, it is going to be plus x square. And then if you just rotate this like this, okay, x is less than or equal to 1. Either you can write 1 is greater than or equal to x square, or you can change in this way also. But in this way we can, it is better to have in this way. Okay, x square less than or equal to 1. Okay, now you just need to plug the value here by trial and error. Start with minus 2 to plus 2. Okay, if you take minus 2 to plus 2, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. Okay, we need to find a solution here. So you have this way, solution, or you can say domain of f is equal to, if you put minus 2 here, it is going to be 4. 4 is less than 1, that is absurd value, because 4 is greater than 1, we cannot use minus 2, as well as plus 2, because if you use 2 in x, it is going to be again 4. But what happened about minus 1? If you take minus 1, it is going to be 1, but 1 is equal to 1. As it says, we can use minus 1 here. So this is one value. Another one is, if you take 0, it is also less than 1. That value is also true and it satisfies our inequality. Then we can also take 0. Now next number is 1. 1 square is 1. 1 is obviously equal to 1. We can also select 1. So domain of f will be minus 1, 0, 1. Okay. Don't think that what about 1 minus here, 1 plus here. You just need to focus on last square root, and that square root will be a non-negative one, because x is a variable here, independent variable here. We need to focus this variable, not this one and this one. This one is a number, which that number is obviously positive. This number is also obviously positive, plus 1 plus 1. So we do no need to take these values. Only we need to take wherever the variable located. Okay, so here 1 minus x square is the variable. X square is a variable here. We need to know whether that x is negative or not. So for that we have a condition, under root of that value should be non-negative. Take this value here, it will be plus x square, and just change in this way, x square is less than or equal to 1. Now just take a trial value from minus 2 to plus 2. Either you want to take minus 3 to plus 3 is also no problem, but clearly it is seen, if you take 3 or minus 3 here, its square will be 9. 9 is not less than 1, 9 is greater than 1. According to this condition, 3 and minus 3 fails, as well as 4 and minus 4, 5 and minus 5. Only these three numbers that satisfies this inequality. So therefore minus 1, 0 and 1 is your domain of the function f. Okay, got it? Inshallah we will see next exercise. We have completed all these exercises in chapter 1. We will see inshallah second chapter tomorrow.